We are back after APK versus T1. T1 got game number 1. So, let's talk about the draft first. Both teams didn't really have a stronger matchup in terms of laning phase. It was like 5 versus 5 matchup, you know, 50-50. No one really outpowered the other side. However, during the team fight, well, T1 managed to perform better because APK players have higher damage in terms of carries. However, they lack dashes, so T1 managed to find those kind of weakness during the team fight. So when T1 had the power spike, they managed to pull off the perfect team fight they were looking for. So, T1 did make some of the mistakes in the earlier phase, but they successfully executed mid-game transition, being behind. So let's check out the dragon fights that T1 managed to turn the game around. At this point of the game, T1 finally had their power spike. Ezreal had 2 items, and at this point, MF didn't really complete his IE. So T1 would have had the confidence to go for the fight. But besides of this itemization difference, actually, well, APK players were rotating to the bot side, and T1 caught that. So they just used the ultimate from Braum and Rumble to kind of stop them from rotating. So there was more like a chase coming from T1 rather than a team fight. So the way they look at the team fight, the way they look for the angle to utilize their power was on another level. And we have another team fight highlight coming from T1. I mean, Teddy's Ezreal was popping off. Well, Western viewers always like talk about really good Ezreal player to Korean Ezreal, and T1 is definitely one of them. So MF and Syndra was actually on the upper side of the map. They were staying in the mid lane. So Teddy, with all this information, he dashed forward and doing so much damage to zone Secret out of this fight. And then Braum and Rumble actually utilized their ultimate on this narrow corridor to block Syndra and MF to join this fight. So, with this tons of damage blocking their way, T1 players could easily outnumber the APK player and win this team fight. So T1 was so experienced even using the landscape to win a team fight, finding the best synergy with their AoE comp. So APK, even though they knew they were losing this fight, they had to fight this. So post 20 minutes, well, Ezreal and Braum is so powerful, so they have to punish before this power spike. But that team fight was already at around 25-minute mark of the game, so even though Teddy was dashing forward, Secret was not able to punish him. So let's check out the POG from T1. We know who this would be. Obviously, it's gonna be Teddy dashing forward and just chunking down the tanks in the front line. There is a distinct difference between just Ezreal and Korean Ezreal, and definitely Teddy was definitely the Korean Ezreal. So if there's no Ezreal buff coming in for the Worlds patch, maybe Ezreal will make something happen this year at Worlds. So people are saying that just Teddy is the OP in this game. Even though he's just going in as an AD carry, you cannot take him down. Teddy was very smart going in for that trade. It's also really hard to play against Ezreal as J4 because Ezreal can jump over the wall, utilizing his ultimates. So Teddy won 10 votes out of 12 people, definitely showing his strength in this game number 1. I guess Teddy is definitely warmed up for the spring split. So let's check out game number 2, APK versus T1.
Welcome back, guys. We are here at the LCK Spring 2020 as Teddy was able to pick up the Pog, granting himself some more Pog points and becoming a bigger Pog boy, as he looks relatively unamused, but he is a stone-cold killer when it comes to League of Legends, and we saw that there. Shoutouts to Faker and Effort, I suppose, for getting that fight started around the Drake, but then Teddy really took us home and was the obvious choice. So, as we can see, T1 messing with our minds a little bit before the mid-game comes in, and then they totally just shut down APK.
Yeah. Let's see what this second game has in store for us. As you have to wonder what APK is now going to be thinking about in this game. Okay, Alawi banned away by T1 first. Now remember, we're looking for Ornn B1s, Soraka B1s, things of that nature. Philios banned away. So if APK is par for the course, they should ban Philios into Ornn, into Soraka, and everything's fine at that point.
Then we're smooth sailing.
Then we are smooth sailing, and then T1 opens with Gragas.
Oh, but they banned you instead. Literally
that's not a funny joke.
Is it's going to be banned off. And that does mean if T1 don't ban either one of Soraka and Ornn, that they could get one of them.
Now, does T1 actually ban either one? Because they think that APK is trying to make a trade. And it looks like what they're saying here is that they would rather play Ornn than Soraka?
Yes. That was the choice that they made.
So, B1 Gragas here is really nice. B1 Misfortune, also a pretty good line.
Yeah, they do end up going for that one. It's extremely popular nowadays, as you guys can see. Now, the Rek'Sai might be targeted here. It was first banned by APK on blue side, and I think they want to deny Cuz away from that champion. They're going to hover it for a while, swap over to potentially Varus.
They might just try to go Varus Tahm Kench and see where things go from there. Well, right now it's going to be Varus and Rek'Sai picked up. And this opens up the possibility for T1 to go Lee if they want to, but now the Gragas could just get locked in again for T1. And then they might just pick up the support here. Have to see what it's going to be.
They're tapping on Faker's seat here. Don't think we'll see Darius, but Renekton is going to be the pick here. 6-3 so far in 2020.
APK now have to decide what they want to do. The Renekton obviously able to be flexed top and mid. As it looks like Kaney wants to play the Syndra again. And so, yeah, he locks it in for himself.
He had a big smile on his face as he was picking that one. Almost like a sheepish smile. But ends up taking that one. Didn't want to have it banned away.
Definitely a nice pickup there for him. As right now, I would say that the draft is relatively even though the Gragas is a lot better than the Rek'Sai, and the Varus and the MF are a little bit matched. T1 with that Gragas MF does have more gears, but the problem is the Syndra is a more valuable pick than the Renekton in a vacuum. So Moving into the second ban phase, the Quinn is signifying that the Renekton is likely headed top.
Yeah. As supports are being targeted by APK. They want to cut down the possibilities here for effort.
Yep. Yumi getting banned away.
Braum's still available if he wants to pick it up. He might not consider it this time. He's not up against an MF, but can still have some value. They're going to ban it away instead.
So depending on what APK picks, I feel like there's a lot of different combinations T1 could end up going with. Now, even though the Syndra LeBlanc matchup is not that awful, I know a lot of people have very different ideas of how it goes. We could maybe end up seeing Faker's LeBlanc as Blitzcrank instantly hovered.
Look at that sly smirk that he gets.
Yeah, it's either going to be Blitzcrank or it would be Morgana. And so T1, though, with the Renekton, might want to just keep adding more fuel to the fire.
I like the Blitz, to be honest. There's already a nice amount of squishy targets. Even the Thresh in the right situation, you can burst down. You get body slammed, you get stunned up by the Renekton. Nice amount of burst damage. Ooh, this would be interesting.
Oh, Echo, another alternative, yeah.
There you go. And Echo currently 2 for 0. Or 2 for 2, I guess you could say. 2 and 0 so far. Will we see the Singed?
You know what's so funny is Singed is one of the best champions in the game to counter set, and we've not seen that here in the LCK.
It's going to be Poppy. Okay, I wasn't immediately counting out anything weird because it is Ixu.
There's a very weird interaction with Echo versus Poppy where Echo's initial dash is stopped, but then his follow-up is a blink. So I don't know if that's been bug or I don't even think it's a bug, but I don't know if anything like that has changed.
You teleport to your target basically with a blink.
Poppy has a lot of value here against the Renekton and the Gragas, but the scaling on the side of T1, I think overall it's a lot cleaner than the scaling on the side of APK. In a vacuum, you have the Poppy that ends up being really effective against some of the members on T1, but with these type of team compositions, fighting fire with fire, you have to give the edge to T1.
Yeah, just straight up in the draft, it does look like it. Faker, no stranger to the Echo pick either. Excited to see if he can go ahead and carry on something a bit more aggressive. His Rumble was pretty nice. And we also have Teddy here on Misfortune, which is kind of bread and butter top pick tier in the AD carry role. So they do first pick that for Teddy. Doesn't mean no Ezreal shenanigans, which is a little bit sad.
And Secret Hybrid down there on the Varus Thresh. We'll see if they can actually manage to get anything aggressive going. The onus is really going to be on Kaney here to not fall behind in pressure and tempo to Faker in mid. Because if he does, everything in the sides can end up falling apart. And then also in the way later stages, if APK are only on an even footing against T1, it's going to be a nightmare for them to try to conduct team fights. Not sure what the first Drake of the game is. Hopefully we'll get that info soon.
I'm looking forward to the Blitzcrank grabs. That's always an exciting thing in this game. Also, can Secret be as influential in this game as we saw Lahens in the last series?
Okay, I really like what Poppy's doing here. Don't interrupt her. You scared her off, Valdez.
Yeah, sorry.
God.
I see.
You know what? It's because she didn't recognize you because you took your braces off.
Have you ever? Yeah, I know. Have you ever played on the? Well, I know you've played on the NA server, but have you played on it for any like significant period of time?
Yeah, I played Twitch Rivals in January. I had to play on it a lot. 200, 250 ping.
I don't know how that's even possible.
Well,
I really hate ping.
No, it is really bad.
Yeah. But I did get to Diamond back in Season 2 on 100 ping from New York.
Okay.
So, you know, just...
Now New York has like 30 ping.
Yeah.
Now, I wanna bring you back to the point last game about the Yordle BTS group.
Yeah.
I feel like that needs its own skin line.
Well,
the Yordles need to make like a band.
You need the merchandise, right?
Yeah, you need a Yordle band. Like Poppy can be the lead singer. Teemo, what?
Why does Poppy get to be the lead singer?
I don't know. Why not?
Well, you just can't elect one yourself.
Okay, fine. Poppy can be the drummer.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot more sense.
Rumble can be the lead singer.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, it fits. He can be like up on stage, you know, on like a little.
They can have a Mumu join for the chorus, like he can start crying, and that can be something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like harmonize auto-tune crying.
Yeah.
I miss the old global laugh.
Yeah.
Out of a Mumu.
Yeah, they definitely need to make a Yordle band. For the skin line.
What are you gonna call it though? The Yordles. It fits, right? It's like really. I think it's pretty on point with that name.
Oh man. All right. Well, so far here in the early game, it's have to really wait to see if anything ends up transpiring, but so far nothing. As Flawless making his way now into his blue side jungle as a ping onto a minion wave. I don't really know what that could possibly mean.
Oh, gonna land that death sentence. Was only a death sentence for maybe one of the guys on APK.
Yeah. And also, APK, they're being zoned out of a bit of XP.
They're behind down there.
Yeah. Faker dematerializing one of the minions. Flawless, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he's running through mid. He obviously wants to get to the Scuttle Crab. Now, the thing is that Grog is just full clear. And so Flawless's route is full of sin. Unfortunately, Valdez, viewers can't see it, but you can. I have the holy water right here in case you need it.
Okay, I was feeling a little bit antsy there.
Yeah.
I might need to dab a little bit of that on myself.
Ran right through mid lane.
And he's still level 3. Just chilling up in the top side.
And honestly, Flawless is just so far behind. Gragas right now is just going to go back into full clearing, has the machete, has the talisman, and you can see, okay, Rek'Sai initially bought Red Smite and then undid it to get Blue Smite, and I'm not sure why that is, given that there's 4 melee champions on the side of T1.
You think Red Smite would have been the better one? As we had a stun up here in the middle lane. Bit of an unfortunate circumstance there, as Faker's doing pretty well already on the Echo.
Yeah. And Kaney with an Amp Tome, Darkseal, and Boots. Missing a lot of his HP, and this is a very frustrating part for Syndra when Echo just begins his endless wave clear. And meanwhile, up here in top lane, Poppy, Wrath of the Undying versus the Conqueror on Renekton. X2 actually going to miss quite a bit of CS there. I think he even missed the last one. Yeah, he stayed at 38.
Yeah. Faker the first to hit level 6 alongside Kaney.
Now, you can do a really interesting thing on Echo. It's probably not applicable in pro play, or maybe it actually could be. I've mentioned this before on broadcast. At level 6, you obviously are given the skill pool that you can allocate into one of your skills. If you don't put it into R, the clone behind you never comes out. And so maybe in pro play, they would think, oh, this guy leveled up an ability or something.
Oh,
but,
the blind hook! Oh. Secret is going to have the blasting cone here, though, and he does get away. Nice play there. Nice timing out of effort.
That was obviously very unexpected. Managed to get a lot of value right there. Got Secret Splash.
Yeah.
About the Echo point, you don't skill the point in R. It doesn't appear behind you. Very deceptive.
Yeah.
So obviously in solo queue, if you're playing Echo in mid lane, or even in jungle, they think, oh, this guy doesn't have his R. They might try to all-in you, and then you just put the skill point into it. You get it, and the clone is following you the whole time. Really nice outplay potential.
Yeah. It's a little thing, but it can make the difference. Faker's just gonna face check and die. That was... I would not recommend that to anybody who's watching. Don't do that. That's... yeah. You might want to take that out of your playbook. As he just didn't know that anyone was in that brush. He had allies coming up the river, and he said, okay, let's go into a fight. He probably thought they were one bush back, and he just got burst down. You can get this false sense of safety and security if you are playing Echo, especially against Syndra, which is obviously a really nice matchup. But if you get stunned from 100 to 0, then you never get a chance.
Well, he sees Caney, but he doesn't know about Flawless. So knock up into the Syndra ultimate, cuz not able to follow up there, even though Blitzcrank was tailing.
Got a fight down here, actually. Hybrid is not level 6, though, as heal had to be used here.
And Blitzcrank,
or no, that's Flash, actually.
Yeah, Blitzcrank doesn't have Flash available, so yet again, in this game, APK finding small advantages early. They're definitely not out of the woods yet. Caney, even in CS with Faker in mid, also has First Blood under his belt. As I think that we're going to go back into a bit of a lull state. Let's see how this all transpired. Effort ends up... Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. And Hybrid just nice positioning there. He knew it was coming. He steps to the side immediately, and then he's able to kite down Teddy. And even though he's down 2 levels, I don't know actually how that's possible. Must have missed a bit of that CS and XP.
Yeah, definitely getting zoned out quite a bit. As even after this entire wave, he's down so much in the XP department. See if he levels up off this minion wave that is under his turret. Okay, he does ding 6, but he is light years behind. As APK, they're gonna pick up the Cloud Dragon. Ocean's gonna spawn second. So we might have another exciting Infernal Soul game. Could be on our hands.
Yeah, could happen. Or the Mountain Soul. Cuz making his way down south. He's walking fast, but he hasn't used that Predator yet, so not as fast as he could be. Still on the basic boots, the brown bags. And he is just going to back away from this one. Little did he know that there's 3 members waiting nearby as Flawless hangs out in the brush.
Well, more ping pong just happening inside of the lanes. Essence Reaver going to be the first item completed for Teddy soon. But Proto Bell might still be ways away for Faker here in mid lane, who is down in XP.
He used his ultimate to get back to lane. I don't know if you caught that, but on the minimap, he just zoop right back.
And so that allows him to conserve his teleport. His ultimate's also going to be back up soon. There's nothing for him to really be doing. As Ixu is going blow for blow against Kana up here in top lane, cuz starting the Rift Herald. And now, at this point, if you're T1, you just want to wait for first core item completions on all of your champions. You're not actively looking to fight. Parallel Convergence cast by Faker.
He's just getting in there. He's going to miss his ultimate. Now he's in a really awkward spot. That should be a dead copy. Pulling in the Blitzcrank, but Stopwatch, a great item. Doesn't have the flash, but he is going to go down because of that. So now 1 for 1.
And
top
the Herald's
laner.
Gonna reset.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about it. It was bigger to get the kill onto Ixu, but at the end of the day, they do not pick up Shelly.
And now Faker gonna TP back in. Caney very low on his mana. He's gonna recall too. See if he TPs back in. Merc Treads is the item of choice. And on the flip side, Kaney teleporting back in as well. As it looks like they want to coordinate some sort of a kill on Dakana. I think expecting him to stay for another turret plate, but not going to end up being the case. Flawless, I believe it's known where he is. Take a look at this one more time. Ixu just trying to knock away Cuz, fails to do so. And then Cuz says, get over here. Manages to lock him up. Very unfortunate by effort. Dying for no reason. As you can see, both AD carries were also rotating. And so we're still ways away from first core item completions on both parties. I mean, I do suppose Poppy has the Sunfire Cape already, but 2 minutes until Ocean Dragon, and it's going to be at the Ocean Dragon that T1 decides to win a fight.
Oh, yeah?
And then converts into more advantages.
Okay. Let's see where you're going with this one. You know, they did that in game 1, so maybe that's why it's a little bit more predictable for you. But we're not going to have that Ocean Drake for another minute and a half, so they're going to focus their attention on a different objective. The Rift Herald will happen once again. This time, T1 have a bit more of a firm grasp on this one, as all the vision pretty much being denied. Ixu coming down again. He's really fearless in this. Not scared of anyone. Just waiting at the ready to engage if need be, and that's going to force T1 back yet again.
And this isn't the kind of way that you want to be posturing right now if you're T1. You just have to wait on those items. There's still a minute until the Dragon, so finding recalls right now into core items is not that bad. Now, unfortunately for them, APK has dragged all 5 of their members, which means 1 minion wave going into the Void in top lane. It's about 100 gold that just disappears into nothingness, including the XP. In bot lane, same thing's gonna happen. This is a wave that Teddy is gonna get that the enemy bot lane isn't. So you add up these gold values and these XP values, and then you subtract it from the gain that APK gets from the Herald capture, as well as the turret plates. And then you end up having 2 different sums.
Yep.
And you don't just look at it as a dopamine kick just because you got the Herald. Because at the end of everything, T1 are the ones that got more access to experience.
And they pick up a Drake, too.
Yeah, and they're going to pick up a Dragon.
Always
so
pretty nice.
Definitely a much better win for T1 than it is for APK.
Yeah, it'll offer them a little bit more sustainability inside the lanes. It is going to be Mountain Soul next, so we'll see who can pick that up in the end. I feel like it could benefit both teams in this sense. Nice amount of burst damage out of Kaney. Whereas, of course, T1's goes without saying. And now, I believe, we have opened the door.
Have we?
Yes, to just waltz on in to the lull state.
Okay. Well, bad news bears for APK, as the Dragon that's going to end up spawning is Mountain. And so, if T1 does end up getting this, the Syndra, you can already see Merc Treads is her boot choice. That'll be really obnoxious if we keep getting magic resist amplification, because the Rek'Sai and the Poppy already not going to deal a whole lot of damage. And if Syndra's not dealing damage either, especially given how slippery and durable T1's comp already is in general, it's going to make things very problematic.
That it will, but we are going to have to wait about 4 minutes. We do have Flawless coming on down to the bottom side, but turret is still available here for Kana. Able to easily sidestep out of any kind of gank that might have happened. And Ixu is pushing at the same time, so it's much harder to set up that kind of play if you don't freeze the wave in a certain spot. As one-on-one up in the top side, Kaney going to try to throw out that ultimate to deter Faker from coming in, and oh boy, he's in a bit of trouble here. The flash is available. There it is, and it is predicted by Cuz. Says get over here once again. Gonna be able to take him out Does look like, though, that a certain trade should happen again as APK making their way down here. Take out the tier 1 as Faker does the same in the top side. They're actually trying to dive this Renekton. Not quite able to, as the dash on in will be denied here. Secret trying to pull off his own effort. Does not happen.
And so, a little surprising, Secret doesn't walk up for Flay into hook. Goes for the hook first. Very surprising. And now, Faker looking like he's going to get this top tier 2, and this is the state of the game where APK consistently fall apart.
Yeah. If they could just fix between 10 and 20 minutes or 10 and 25 minutes, they'd be such a better team.
Well, so far, things are not working out for them as well as they probably would have liked. 2,000 gold lead on the dot for T1. Protobelt on Faker. We'll see if he gets Zanya's Hourglass next. Let's take a look at this as Kaney, why is he pathing this way? Parallel Convergence comes out, gets a lot of value as effort. He was putting in some effort to get there too, Syndra. Kaney goes for the QE, and really, I mean, there's no getting away from Cuz at that point.
I think when you're running away in a straight line like that, players are going to have to start doing the next one-up, which is just not flashing.
The other thing is that Kaney can actually probably flash the Blitz hook and then try to QE the Gragas.
That's another option. Didn't even consider that. We are diving on the back line. Hybrid is so screwed. As, yeah, he's waving goodbye to his poor teammates that are left without him. That's a double kill now for Teddy, as Faker is running way into that back line, avoiding the knockup up until now, and then he dies. As they have a really nice amount of burst damage, Flawless and Kaney do. And at the end of the day, it is a 3-for-1 as Faker, unfortunately, eats the brunt of the enemy's damage.
Now Kaney trying to hold on to the mid-tier 1 turret. 45 seconds until the Mountain Drake comes up. There's going to be another turret falling. And now all that T1 really needs to do is just recall group for the Mountain Dragon. It's so important for them to get it.
Flawless has got his ultimate. He's looking for it.
Oh, man.
And, well, see you later.
I don't know why he didn't just take it on draw. Oh, okay, stopwatch.
Yeah. But in that case, you shouldn't have gone for it in the beginning. Teddy in a little bit of an awkward position, has a little alcove there because of the Mountain Soul. Ultimate comes out. Decent scatter the weak, but not really going to land. Faker sidestepping Hybrid, who has not been too safe in this one.
Now, Kana has teleport available, so this Mountain Dragon should still definitely be on the menu for T1.
Well, Faker's going on in there, trying to go 1v3. He is going to dodge so much of it as bullet time will sail wide. Expecting APK to get on in there, and now Faker's left without an ultimate. They still got to fight over this Mountain Drake.
Yeah, and APK is taking a little bit of damage. T1 is heavily favored in this, although Teddy, no mana.
Oh, the outplay by Effort. Reads the hook and then gets in there and grab, but it's just a kill. The Mountain Drake is going to go the way of APK, which is extremely high value.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So a bit of a reset now for APK. They're going to be able to have a lot of time as Effort pulls the red buff. Nice. No one really interested in getting it. I think that Teddy is just trying to sustain on the map straight into an Infinity Edge purchase.
Well, he's going to be going back now. See if he does pick it up.
Take a look at what ends up happening here. This was just a sandwich. Teddy ends up getting canceled on his bullet time. Kana obviously going very big with the Dominus. Faker trying to just stay on top of Kaney. You can see that he ends up flashing, and this is just to get his ultimate to follow better. But then they chain the CC together. Effort even looked like he was surprised that ended up missing. Flawless didn't have the damage to kill Cuz, and the reason that he doesn't commit with the ultimate is because Cuz has the stopwatch. So Teddy ends up getting the kill there. Seeker can't really do all that much. Very nice cleanse by Teddy as Ixu. Not the most focused targeting right there on the Poppy. Hook ends up going wide as well. And APK in the end, they ended up getting the mountain, remember.
Hello?
And Renekton.
If you're buying in the shop, please pay attention. Can you please? Definitely a bit of a whoopsie there from Hybrid. And because you just get their 80 carry for free, you're going to get a bunch of extra bonus stuff. AKA a turret here in mid, a bunch of damage in the top side. You push away their jungler at the same time. Yeah, that's generally, yeah, I would not recommend doing that. Sorry, Hybrid.
All right, well, APK now are down to 6,000 gold at 22 minutes. This is really just looking like lights out.
Yeah, and the early game was relatively even.
Yeah, the early game was relatively even, but now Ixu finds himself down 2 levels. Teddy up 3 levels over Hybrid. Effort up 1 level. Yeah. Faker down a level. That's fine.
That is one thing that went well.
It's because he went back in time. That's why he's down.
Oh, you know? Wow.
Now he's back
now
to the future.
Now you understand. Okay.
That's why he's 14 now.
Wow.
Yeah. I just wanted to
mind blown.
Yeah.
He caught up. That's good. And yeah, I mean, the one thing that was consistently much better for T1 than APK was the bot lane. Just laning, getting ahead. I believe in both games this happened as well. Not just in this second game, but the second game is a lot more obvious when it does come to that. 3-0 and 3, just marked over 11,000 gold. Did Teddy, what else is he gonna buy here? QSS into Zerker's Greaves. Oh, he sold it actually, and went back and bought a BF sword instead.
Looks like he actually just wants to get a Hex Drinker in order to survive the Syndra burst, because he already probably considers that he already has the plan. So definitely not a bad purchase at all. I love Kana's Guardian Angel. It lets him play so much more loose inside of these team fight preparations, because he's no longer a real viable target. Faker looking for a parallel convergence, not going to find a very valuable one, as Kana's still down there in the bot lane, probably going to be able to raise this bottom tier 1 or tier 2 turret.
Yeah, in a strange way they funnel. Okay, we're just going and trying to kill Teddy now. He's going to flash away, but in goes the knockup, as does the Rek'Sai. The hook will not help him out here as Cask will sail wide. Kana with the TP is going to end up TPing into his death. As definitely a bit of a mix-up here for T1. Not what you were looking for, the hook into the death. And now APK, considering their options, leaning towards Baron. I'm not sure that they can go for it, though. Let's see what they decide to do. It looks like Baron is not going to be on the cards.
Baron can't be on the cards, but what APK should be doing is heading towards that Mountain Dragon, as that is something that they can easily end up acquiring. Flawless coming off of Fountain. T1 probably doesn't want to let this go for free. Now they have a Blast Cone, and so that combined with Gragasy, no, they're just going to give it up.
Yeah. They say, hey, they have Poppy in there. It's probably not a good idea. As we'll re-examine how this does happen. On Vision is Teddy, Flawless.
Teddy walks up to a wave that is guaranteed to be coming into him, as the Renekton was on top of the bottom tier 2 turret, and it's just completely pointless. And so T1 just donking off their lead here in mid-game. They ended up losing a dragon for this, which now brings the game to Soul Point.
And APK, even though they're behind, so you mentioned the dragons, those are going to offer some extra stats into their lineup. If they can manage to get the soul at any point, you know, that's a lot of gold in terms of the value you're getting out of that. So we're nearing somewhat of an even game once again. They were able to shut down Teddy not to mention, so they take his bounty away. So now Faker up against Flawless here, trying to burst him down. Is going to spot the Syndra over the wall, decides not to commit.
And Faker, oh yeah, just trying to be a nuisance. Stopping Flawless's recall yet again. Kana continuing to shove down there in the bottom lane. Ixu has caught up in the levels though. Only down one. Teddy dealing a lot of damage. Effort not going to be quick enough on the hook. What? I don't know. The pull.
Where are you?
The pull hook.
There you go.
As somehow Secret is actually ahead of Effort in XP.
The mysteries of the universe. I suppose Effort's been out of lane a little bit more, looking for opportunities to get hooks down, stuff like that. He is now backing in an awkward spot, but there was a ward. So no harm, no foul there. Still about 6,000 gold ahead is T1. As long as they cannot do what they did in the last fight, we're going to be on a pretty good situation here for T1. No doubt in 2.5 minutes, they're not just going to let the Mountain Soul go.
Well, T1 really posturing a lot around this Baron. And remember, they lost both of the Mountain Dragons for really no reason. And even though they're ahead right now, 5,000 gold, you gotta account for some of the resistances that are obviously being granted the way of APK. APK definitely aren't out of it. All that would need is one good team fight into a Mountain Soul capture, and they would propel themselves into the lead.
Absolutely. This game is not over by a mile yet. This Effort. Oh, okay, we're going into the K-Ram. Death Sentence is going to land the burst. Damage on Akana isn't enough. The stopwatch is better, as the Chain of Corruption is doing so much in that backline, and Faker has got to get out of there, as the damage win will go the way of APK. Blitzcrank's still extremely dangerous, so they will have to back away, but still a advantageous fight just slightly for the side of APK.
Yeah, Ixu able to tank up so much inside of that team fight. Faker not really able to find any sort of engage. His hybrid. Oh, I thought he was within one level of Teddy. But not actually. Yeah, not going to be the case. I thought that he was.
Would have been nice for him to pick up this wave in the bottom side, but will go the way of
almost
Syndra.
Gonna be level 16 actually. Faker still 15. As Teddy running up again, trying to push in this wave. Again, 6,000 gold lead right now. Bloodthirster complete for Misfortune. Faker hit 16 right around the same time as Kaney. And now it's just a battle of vision around this next dragon. This is not one that T1 can let go, because otherwise they're going to have to climb a mountain to win this game.
Yep, they're sitting right around this Mountain Drake, as you're mentioning, 25 seconds, and Effort's doing a great job just coming in here alone, trying to clear out all the vision that he can. Has Cuz, Teddy, and Faker nearby just in case, as there's really no vision in their own jungle for APK. It has been successfully denied for now by the side of T1.
3 seconds until this dragon is up. They're clearing out mid-vision. Ixu looking like he wants to follow. Flawless gonna be spotted out on a ward. This is an awful angle for APK.
Yeah. Kana's got his GA back. It's gonna help out a bit in this fight. He can go more ham into the backline. Effort up against the wall, but the death sentence was down. The hook comes in, but it's a poppy, so they can't do much at the end of it all. Effort's got to be careful, just running straight at the enemy team. And now APK, I like what they're doing. They're pushing in the mid lane after that slight win.
Huh? I can't tell if T1 is just going to give this up.
Well, they moved into mid to not give it away. The hook comes in, but immediate QSS. Oh, they got Cuz! Cuz is out of the fight. If they can burst it down, this would be Mountain Soul. And it's going to go the way of Forest. They picked it up. As Mountain Soul will go the way of APK. Kana is going to stay alive, just barely. So in fact, a win in terms of kills goes the way of T1, but we talked about the win of the Mountain Soul is pretty massive in this game.
Mountain Soul is so big, they're getting 18% amplification.
And the shield.
Yeah, and the shield. So they are getting so many free stats right now.
Now it is a 5-on-4 around the Baron.
Yeah, this is scary. APK could actually throw here.
But effort is pretty low. They're trying to come in as 4 as Baker is attempting an assassination, but they get the hook onto Kaney. That's what he needed. As the 5v4 should go the way of T1, but Hybrid is going to get flashed on. Down he does go. And Ixu should meet the same fate eventually.
And is there a minion wave in mid? There is. 40-second death timer.
I think they're definitely going to try for this. It's 2 essentially melee champions that don't have wave clear.
Flawless. I think he has to suicide in order to kill the minions.
Yeah, look at him. He's trying desperately.
Yeah, they're protecting it.
Look at Faker in the back there. He's just got to protect the minions.
Yep, Faker trying to act as the gatekeeper right now for these minions. Cuz as well.
Looks like they're going to back away.
They're going to back away, yeah.
Yeah, the minion wave behind them was taken by Flawless, so they were able to protect it, but they weren't able to push fast enough. As there was an attempt onto Secret, they weren't going all in with that one. At the end of the day, it's a bunch more kills going T1's way. Keep in mind the Magi's on Gragas. It's at 18 stacks right now, so that's a big boy. Gragas has the AP. You see the fight here around Mountain Soul.
The fight around Mountain Soul, I really like the decision that APK did. They knock away the Gragas, and then they just burst it down, knowing how valuable of an objective it is. And then T1
watch the
with
hook.
The Baron, the hook onto Kaney.
Flash forward. Max range.
Gets it onto the Syndra. And then they manage to turn this team fight. Secret did not end up going down. A little bit of indecisiveness, actually. Gragas, I feel like he let Thresh get away. And so now we come back into live. It's a 10,000 gold lead, or a little bit under 10,000 gold lead. But when you factor in all those resistances, especially on Poppy.
Yeah, she is.
Adaptive Hell, Sunfire, Stoneplate, Ninja Tabi, and Bramble Vest. And once Poppy gets Thornmail, I mean, the damage reflection is going to be absolutely bonkers. By Ixu.
And he's really not that far away from it either.
Now, if T1 want to play as Captain Careful as possible, I think that they should just wait until Elder. Because Elder will...
I like, as you're describing this, they run at the Baron. And it's because Ixu is down a TP. And so they say, if we can burst it fast enough, maybe we can do this. They're going to find Flawless, though. And
they got Flawless.
Yeah, he's a dead little void monster.
That wasn't very flawless, I'll tell you that.
No, full of flaws, that one.
Yeah.
No.
Now, they might just burst down the Baron. And if they end up getting that one, it'll persist into the Elder Drake. So if they end up getting Elder Dragon, that'll laugh at the Mountain Soul.
No flashes available for T1 in this fight. We have double flash available for APK. Kaney has it this time. Should not get hooked.
Just finish the Baron.
Yeah, just finish the Baron. APK are going to give it to you, so you should pick it up. And there it goes. So 10,000 gold lead now with Baron. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and buy and then return to the fight.
Robinon's death cap almost completed for Faker. As, take a look at this, Flawless. He thinks that he was being sneaky, yeah. And honestly, a little bit surprising. He should have been able to deduce that they must have seen him, but because playing a little bit of a, you know, a mind game, walking past the brush, and so Flawless thinks, yeah, definitely a Decepticon.
Oh.
Right there.
I like that. Look at this, he's waiting, he's like, oh, yeah, you can't dodge anymore as you're slowed and you're dead.
T1 is really winning the mental warfare.
Oh, yeah.
Inside
absolutely.
Of this game. 709 AP on this Gragas.
That's what I was saying. He's the daddy of the team.
Kaney even having to flash away.
That was a strange hook, but we'll take it. Gets the hook on Ixu. Looks like it went through him. Either way, with the Baron in minute 43, and they're gonna find this guy, just plops down the cask on his
Tells
face.
him to take a drink.
Yeah, drink this. And down he will go. Ixu trying desperately, but he'll be flashed upon as well. Because his AP is greater than the amount of resistances that the Poppy has. Another hook comes in as Effort is just bopping him this day on the Blitzcrank. And down will go the Nexus. The 2-0 comes through for the side of T1. A little bit shaky there in game number 2. Wasn't exactly as straightforward as we would have imagined it to be. But in the end, they get the 2-0. And that is what will show up on the scoreboard. So, not the smoothest game 2, but they get the win. APK, gotta give them some props. They were playing up against one of the best teams in Korea, not able to get a win, but they proved that they can play with any team.
Yeah, they were able to contend for the better part of that game. They got to the Mountain Soul, just weren't able to close it. Not the cleanest game by Faker, but it was okay. His teammate showed up, and you're struggling to vote. Do you remember those Blitzcrank hooks?
Yeah, I mean, they were good Blitzcrank hooks, but...
Yeah, they were. They were...
Guy,
I'm going to need...
Don't open that holy water.
Holy water. And I need to... I don't even know.
Get that holy water away from me. I'm a real sinner.
Yeah.
I don't need any of that.
I just saw that vote, Valdez. I have no clue.
The good thing is we don't have to reveal it to the fans.
Oh, I'm going to reveal it.
No, it's
at
okay.
the very end.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know.
When my guy wins, they'll know who you voted for. And then, you know. Either way, that's it. Don't splash any more of that holy water on me. Get that away.
Well, T1, they walk away victorious. It is a 2-0. Not the kind of 2-0 I think anyone was expecting. Because they fell behind in both games at specific points. And I don't know what happened in bot lane, the XP differential.
Yeah.
That was so bizarre.
Multiple waves did the Varus, so that put Hybrid really far behind. And then he got bopped in the mid lane fight at the same time. He didn't have the best game. He was not the player of the game.
No.
He was the punching bag of the game.
You voted for Cuz.
DOG.
I voted for Effort.
Yeah, Cuz was really influential in that game. It's not just about, he got a bunch of stacks. That wasn't even because of him. He just had a lot of great engages, good casks. And I just thought, a couple of Blitzcrank's hooks, that's why you're playing Blitzcrank. He's good at it, don't get me wrong. But I had to give my guy Cuz some credit. So we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the game in just a moment. When they do come up here, I'm still struggling to get my timing down.
I actually really liked that T1's drafts were a bit more stable today than they usually have been in the past.
Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Clean.
Clean. Mr. Clean.
Yeah, you're looking at a C-L-E-A-N.
Are we going to the ship?
We're going to the ship, man.
All right.
All I do is win. Boop. Get wrecked.
Well, in this team fight, Faker chasing onto Kaney, ends up flashing, and this is where he made a bit of a blunder. He gets knocked up, and Kaney and Flawless were really on point with their synergy in this game there. At least, executing Faker. Cuz takes another swing of his cask.
Staring down death.
Yeah. Teleport ended up coming in. Really nice cleanse by Teddy in this highlight. Ixu ends up knocking up Kana, not the guy that he was probably looking for, as even Kaney pressing R, not getting a lot of value. And right here, this was a very big turning point. This was Teddy walking up to a wave for no reason. Forest flash ulting and missing. And this team fight just really got very messy. And it allowed APK to get the Mountain Dragon. And the Soul almost brought them back into the game. Here's another team fight win.
So this is one where I look at it and I'm like, okay, maybe I should have voted for effort. He gets the big pull onto the Syndra, and he's really the catalyst that gets T1 to win this one. Cuz nice follow-up, but they were all running in a straight line, so not the hardest part. As we'll take a listen in. Let's go, let's go.
아 그래 빠졌어 이거. 타워만 깨야 돼, 타워만 깨야 돼.
날라갔다.
이거 유지?
I went
유지
flying.
아 유지.
천천히 하자.
유지.
나 풀떡 하나 되고 풀떡.
아 유지.
진짜 노플.
바로 노플이에요.
왼발 바로.
그냥 나 안무빙만 할게.
바로 볼게.
따라볼게. 신드라 녹음. 뽀삐 봐줄 사람?
뽀삐 맞아.
여기 사람?
아 뽀삐야 뽀삐 볼게.
Bopi is
이거
popping.
잠깐만. 우리 끝내야 돼.
알아 상호야 괜찮아. 다음만 끝나.
끝내야 돼. 끝내야 돼.
이거 잘 봐야 돼.
끝내야 돼.
You gotta get him, you gotta.
신드라 농이야.
나 이골 3초.
나 타워 칠게.
끝났다.
타워 칠게.
됐다. 최종.
이제
나이스.
Please
잘
end.
상호.
Yep.
나이스.
마지막 뭐야?
Taking a look at the damage chart here. Teddy dealing quite a lot. And Cuz coming in second place on his team respectively. Kenny trying to do what he could this game on the Syndra. Played it both games tonight. It's nice seeing Syndra pop up more in the LCK as the blind as opposed to the Victor and the Orianna and the Zoes.
Zoe would have been okay. We just didn't see Zoe at all in this series. It was banned out a couple of times in the last one, and actually played in the first game.
All right.
But no presence here in series
Everything's
number 2.
gonna be fine.
Fair enough.
I know who
the bottom
MVP
lane
is.
together will be up there on stage.
There we go.
As he earned 10 out of 12 votes.
One of that's you.
So me and
of course it's gonna be an observer.
it's gonna be media for sure. Oh, analyst. Oh. It's me and What Did for sure. Me and What Did have
no.
We got the connection.
No. It's Bitdoll. Right? He's
No. It's me and What Did. We got the connection.
No.
I'll ask him later. It's me and him for sure.
It's not.
Me and the analyst voting for good Cuz. But to be honest, I mean,
support.
after
What? He's a support main.
yeah, but whatever. We have the connection. I felt something. Reading dinner earlier, and we didn't say anything, but I could feel the vibe was good. Anyway, very well-deserving for effort. Picks up 10 out of 12 as we are going to go into the interview. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with the interview translation, and we'll be hearing from the duo players, Teddy Effort from T1, picking up 2-0 victory up against APK. How was today's match, Teddy? I got caught out in game number 2. The game was a little bit extended, but still, 2-0 victory feels really nice. Before that point of the game, yeah, people were actually thinking Teddy would be the POG, but after that pickup, I guess after picked up the POG, I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I had no heads up, but I mean, Effort was doing so much work in game number 2, so it was okay. Yeah, it's your first POG Effort. How are you feeling right now? It's been a while, so I'm really nervous. I mean, our carries are doing so much work every time, so I think they also deserve it, but I'm really thankful that I got this today. I know, because you've been a little bit shaky in the beginning of the split, so they were waiting for you to get back in form. Yeah, right now, my teamwork has improved, and also my personal performance is also improving, so I'm quite satisfied with my performance. So, coming in this 10.3 patch, Ezreal is being picked up more and more. Is it more viable now? So a lot of people are playing Ezreal on solo queue, so I played it for time to time, and I thought it was okay. And some of the players even played on stage, so I also tried it today. But in the early game, T1 was having a rough time, and you guys didn't even contest for objectives. Was that like holding onto the power spike, or like just hiding your power? We wanted to hold on to the power spike, but there was some accident happened in top lane, so our game got even more difficult. But we are always waiting for the turnaround point. So let's take a look at the highlight from Ezreal, played by Teddy here. Tell us about the positioning and everything. APK players were splitted, but still Nautilus was overextended a little bit. So I told my teammates to let's go. And I mean, my players were following so well. Rumble and Braum ultimate landed on the same corridor. Was that like experienced, practiced, or like does someone make any call about it? Sometimes we make calls, or sometimes we just have the same idea. And effort. You game number 2 where you got your first POG. And this was the perfect situation to complete the comp with Blitzcrank, but you actually hovered Leona first. We were thinking of for several picks for the sport. Leona was a bit viable, but up against Thresh, I thought Blitz was stronger. Why are you laughing, Teddy? Whenever I just look at effort, I just laugh. I can't help it. And a lot of people say, I mean, the hook is so short when I play it, but when pros play it, why is it longer? Do you also feel the same way? No, not really. You have to read the opponent's mind. That's why I'm kind of good at landing my hooks. And especially that hook on Syndra near the Baron's Pit was so critical. So were you keeping your eyes on her? Well, I didn't really spell check her flash, but I was keeping my eyes on the carry line, especially Syndra. Thanks to that hook, you guys were able to clean out all the remaining APK players as well. Whenever we see the mic check coming out from T1, effort, you are the most vocal player. You check every ultimate spells and everything. Isn't that too tiring? I mean, someone has to do this work, and everyone can do this. And I'm just the one, like, speaking the most during the team fight, so nothing is really too hard for me. You also admitted that you had some hard time in the beginning of the spring split, so it's really nice to see you coming back in week number 4 or 3. Teddy, in respect of all matches you have done in the spring split, any regrets? We are having a winning streak, so I can't really think of one, but I hope we can be more consistent and end the game quicker. I still have some mistakes in games, so I want to get rid of those, and I want to be stepping up throughout the split. So this will be the end of the interview with Teddy Effort from T1 picking up 2-0 victory, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, G-Sun, for the wonderful translation once again. Good to hear from the bot duo, Teddy and Effort, coming in there and putting on quite a show. I'd love to see more and more Blitzcrank. As we see in this current meta, it's actually quite effective. I believe a couple of Blitzcranks now have picked up player of the game as well. At least Effort has, and shows the potential of that pick.
And T1 now off the back of their 2-0. They're still 1 point down to Genji. And it is really night and day between the top 4 teams and the bottom 6 here in the LCK. As APK, obviously, with that loss, they're still going to have to wait for Sandbox to play, as that can end up flipping the standings, and that's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, Afrika up against KT, Sandbox up against Damwon, brought to you by LS and Atlus. Going to be a pretty nice cast that will be brought to you by those guys.
Yeah.
As I will be playing hockey up until the start of this tomorrow.
Ridiculous.
Having a grand old time.
Me and Atlas are going to be playing ping pong, and we're going to be watching.
No doubt.
It. Yeah, no doubt.
I'll be playing at home. We should make a video about playing ping pong.
Yeah.
Maybe on the next POG state, you guys can do it in front of a ping pong
play
table.
Ping pong.
Yeah. And just as a visual demonstration of what the current state of the game is.
We could play charades.
Charades?
Yeah,
I mean, like
ping pong, and then someone says, What is
ping pong?
What, no.
What is table tennis?
What is mid-game?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I get the, oh, that's where the joke comes in. Ah, I got it. Well, that's about going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, and we will see you tomorrow for more LCK.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd see. You've always believed and have faith in me. You'll always be my hero. I love you for everything you've done. You'll always be my hero. Faith in you like the rising sun. I feel so strong, I feel the freedom to be who I can be. You'll always be my hero. Give me everything I need. You have faith in me. You're all that I want, all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd